Всем доброго времени суток. Сегодня мы продолжаем проходить игру Vampyr. Добрались мы до больницы. Но сегодня у нас, я хочу пройтись по доп. Заданиям, если они такие имеются. Ну, естественно, нужно будет постараться поговорить с людьми, которые в этой больнице находятся, с врачами, с пациентами. Поэтому, скорее всего, здесь будет это прохождение, эта часть, эта серия в основном будет построена на диалогах. Итак, у нас начинается ночная смена. По сюжетке я пока
Hurry
не
now,
пойду.
Doctor. It's freezing here.
Потому что хочется поговорить.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Так. Здесь ничего нет. Первый вариант, второй вариант. Я запрещаю вам входить в мою комнату. Но это будет немного как-то грубовато по отношению к этой даме. Ну, вообще, по отношению к девушке. Это как-то, думаю, грубовато даже. Вот этот вариант выберу.
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Итак, нам нужно, по их разговору, нужно попасть в морг. Но в морг спешить никому не надо, ни живым, ни мертвым. Поэтому я пробегусь тогда по больнице, постараюсь по возможности поговорить с людьми, которые здесь есть.
So many deaths.
The
Part
pain.
of my own life.
It's here again.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Так, спросим про жизнь в Лондоне.
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Так. Как обстоят дела
How would you
здесь?
describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Так. Ну, эпидемия не вечна.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Ладно, успокоим. возьмите
You
себя в
must
руки.
get a hold of yourself, Nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Так, о чем еще можно с ней поговорить? Как справляются сотрудники?
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Из предыдущих серий, ну вот то, что я проходил, я выяснил одну важную такую деталь. Общаясь с этими людьми, можно многое понять. Какие-то подсказки получить и так далее и тому подобное. Поэтому, ну, скажем так, в этой игре диалоги это, ну, скажем, неотъемлемая часть того, чтобы строить дальше свои, ну, принимать свои дальнейшие решения в соответствии с тем, что мы узнаем. Как говорится, знание сила.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Так, ну, с ней вроде бы обо всем поговорили. Хотя можно задать личный вопрос.
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things change.
Так, на выбор. 3 варианта. Вам есть чем гордиться, вы нужны пациентам, ну и это неприемлемо. Ну, скажем так, с учетом того, что там всякие плакаты, что нужны сестры в больницу, наверное, надо ее, не знаю, из всех 3 вариантов, либо это, либо это. Наверное, все-таки я вот это.
But you're doing something important here. For all the patients who need your help.
We save lives, sure. Each time we send a cured patient home, it's a relief beyond words. But since the epidemic, I feel so powerless.
Так. Все, пока на это. Больше лишних вопросов не будет.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Лишних или личных. Так. С этим поговорить.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Личный вопрос. Ага. Тогда
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
так. В общем, ты
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Так, ладно.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
А вот и подсказочка появилась. Задать вопрос, откуда в самом деле ваша травма?
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Так, ну, не будем так грубо, не будем. Вампиры, вообще-то, они, скажем так, вежливые, но в свою меру, скажем так, жестокие, но вежливые. Поэтому выберем вот этот вариант вопроса.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Ладно, так уж и быть. Немножко проявим строгости, скажем так. Путем другая.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
И опять три варианта. Можно сделать операцию, красота. Это еще не все. Ладно, вот этот я сделаю выбор. Вот так скажем. Можно сделать
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
И все. И на этом все. Ладно.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
You disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
Так, с этим, по-моему, я разговаривал или не разговаривал. Попробуем.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. I feel better already. Can I go soon?
Так. Сначала спросим вот.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Так. Сначала узнаем, зачем он вообще к нему попёрся.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Ну теперь можно и спросить.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Спросим, что в порту произошло.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Так, сначала узнаем, угрожает ли банда.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know? The sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint. Not even criminals.
Ну и можно спросить, кто главарь.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Блин, почему так быстро субтитры пролетают? Я иногда просто не успеваю прочитать.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Так, а с тобой поговорим?
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Так, без личных вопросов. Нет? Про Лондон тогда. Как ей в Лондоне живется?
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
down, my boy. I'm so... My sweet girl reads me like a book. I never could keep anything from her.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Так, сначала личный вопрос задам. А нифига он пока не скажет. Тогда спрашиваем про жизнь в Лондоне. Сначала про больницу.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Так.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Опять три варианта. Буду рад помочь. Исследования изматывают и оставьте лист. Вот это.
I'll give you some advice, but understand that nothing beats practical experience, which can be exhausting and solitary work.
Of course, sir. And don't worry, I will never allow myself to be a burden, neither to you nor this hospital.
Так, ну если мы начали про эксперименты, спросим у него про эксперименты. Поговорим.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Так. теперь если про личную жизнь. О технике переливания крови спросим.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Ну-ка, историю Фиддика.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's
Я
story.
хотел
Our
прочитать
first
Фиддика.
diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Да, вот.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Так, на этом пока диалог с ним закончим.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Диалог мы с ним на этом пока
My sweet girl
закончим.
reads me like a book. I'm never
С
gonna
этим
keep anything.
поговорим.
Good evening,
дальше.
sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Так, сейчас 5 сек. Воротник у него как-то.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Ну-ка, а сейчас
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
опять
Good evening,
воротник
Dr. Reed.
так же.
Any news about my operation?
Так,
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
так. Сначала о причине гибели жены.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Но теперь можно спросить об истинных причинах травмы.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick, unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Так, теперь Смерть жены.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
Вот спрашивается, бомбили, и вот честно, я вот это не понимаю. Вот бомбежка, а ему жена жратву понесла. Не чтоб где-то спрятаться на время бомбежки. Так нет, она понесла ему жратву. И при этом погибает. Вот непонятно мне. Честное слово. Жертва для мужа у нее на первом плане получается, чем собственная жизнь. Ну, это можно философствовать очень долго и очень много.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Ellen didn't bring them with her that night.
Ну все.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick.
Больше-
I'll see you later.
Больше вопросов нет к вам, сэр. Сэр.
You always knew the word.
Неоконченное письмо.
Calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Так. Значит, к этому можно будет потом еще вернуться с ним поболтать, я так понимаю.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Что ж, пока, пока. Я, наверное, ну, с этим я болтал,
May
мне
lack the resources, but we have some of the most brilliant minds in London.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed, yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swans's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
так. Ладно, опять с лишних вопросов начнем.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Ладно. Спросим, что он думает. Поговорим обо мне.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Во, вот это я выберу, наверное.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon, and it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative, it is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
With you at our side, Dr. Reed, I know that Pembroke will prevail and survive this epidemic. I will not let you down, my boy. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Так, с этим мы говорили.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
Да. Говорили. Давай.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Я типа как доктор на ресепшене. Что ж, всем спасибо, кто заходит ко мне на канал. Всем отличного настроения. Нас, мужиков, с 23 февраля, как говорится, если сам себя не поздравишь, никто не поздравит. Поэтому на сегодня пока мы останавливаемся. Это была серия чисто на диалогах построена, чтобы узнать, что, чего и почему происходит в этой больнице, кто в чем нуждается и так далее и тому подобное. То бишь, другими словами, мы сегодня собирали инфу. Еще раз всем отличного настроения и до следующей миссии. Всем пока.